Ever just do something and think, why am I like this? Like yesterday, I spent 10 minutes looking for my phone. Turned out it was in my hand. In my hand. It makes you wonder, are we really in control?
It's a question that's fascinated thinkers for, well, ever. But Robert Greene, in The Laws of Human Nature, he really digs into this.
He does. Green's like the Sherlock Holmes of human behavior. He gets all the weird, irrational stuff we do.
Right. And that's our deep dive today, using his work to unpack this thing we call irrationality. Why do we, supposedly smart cookies, do dumb stuff?
Like there's a gremlin in our brain messing things up.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Greene uses this metaphor of a rider on a horse. The rider, that's our neocortex, all logical and planny. But the horse, our limbic system, pure emotion, and anyone who's ridden knows, sometimes, the horse is in charge.
So we think we're steering, but it's our feelings at the reins. That tracks, honestly.
Totally. And get this, the neocortex, the logical rider, newbie, evolutionarily speaking. The limbic system,
Ugh.
ancient, powerful, and wants one thing, good vibes only.
Explains my weakness for cake, even when I know I shouldn't. Limbic system's all, cake, good, now.
Bingo. Greene calls it the rosy scenario. Our brain's like a PR agent for pleasure, twisting facts to get what it wants.
Makes you realize how much our own brain plays tricks on us. How do we break out of that?
That's where it gets juicy. Greene says we're mostly unaware of how emotions work on us. It's why we can feel awful and have no clue why.
So we're running on emotional autopilot, basically.
Exactly. And to make it worse, these two systems, logic and emotion, not exactly BFFs. Communication's rough.
Which, yeah, how often do you actually know why you're in a mood? It's like our feelings have their own agenda.
And that's why Greene's big on emotional awareness. Not just feeling them, but getting them.
Yeah.
Where are they coming from? How's that messing with my choices?
Like hitting pause on autopilot and going, hold up, feelings, what's the deal here? But this irrationality thing, it's bigger than just us, right?
Oh, absolutely. History's a highlight reel of group irrationality going wrong.
Yeah.
And it often starts right there. Logic and emotion at odds.
Hit me with some history. When's it really gone off the rails?
One that Greene uses is the Salem witch trials back in the 1600s.
Whoa, Salem. Talk about mass hysteria. What's that got to do with our brains being irrational?
Same core instincts, pleasure and pain, but now it's the whole community. Picture it. People are scared. Sickness, craps failing, always the fear of attack. Fear's powerful stuff.
So when everyone's scared and wants answers, logic takes a back seat.
Exactly. In Salem, that fear latched onto witchcraft. Gave him a reason, someone to blame. Simple.
Easier to yell witch than figure out disease or why society's falling apart.
Right. And as accusations flew, people wanting revenge, religion mixed in, power grabs, even those in charge got swept up.
So fear makes us irrational, but then the irrational acts, they make more fear. It's a cycle. And in Salem, people died based on what? Spooky vibes. That's
totally irrational. Shows how even with flimsy evidence, we crave simple answers. Control. When the world feels out of control. Bad combo.
So we've established humans really good at bad decisions, alone or in groups. But we're not doomed to repeat that forever, right? Got to be a way to fight back, become more rational, like uncertainty proof.
That's the good part. Greene's not all doom and gloom. He gives us a way out.
Okay, then let's have it. How do we tame this inner irrational beast? So what's the magic trick? How do we outsmart our own irrationality?
Well, don't expect a quick fix. Greene's not about that. It's more about, rewiring your thinking, a total tune-up.
So like brain boot camp, sign me up.
Kind of. He's all about self-awareness. Really look at your own thoughts, your biases, what sets you off, those knee-jerk reactions that usually backfire.
Yeah, looking in the mirror is not always fun, especially when you're like, I was being that guy.
But that's the point. Got to see it to fix it, right? Once you know your own irrational quirks, you can catch them early.
So instead of getting swept up in the drama, you hit pause and go, is this really how I want to act, like building mental muscle?
Exactly. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Another thing Greene talks about is like your information diet. We get stuck in these echo chambers.
Social media is the worst for that, right? Everyone in their own bubble thinking they've got it all figured out.
And that just makes us more irrational. Greene's like, go find different views, even the ones you hate, the ones that make you think, no way.
Step out of the comfort zone, actually listen to learn. Man, that's hard sometimes. But I get it. It's like, gotta break free.
Exactly. And last but not least, Greene's big on delaying gratification. Resisting that urge to just take the easy way out.
Oof, that one's personal. I am the king of, hey, one more episode won't hurt, even when I know I'll regret it.
And that's the trap. Greene's like, think bigger picture. What does your future self want? not just what feels good right now.
So we learned our brains are kind of wired for irrationality. History's a mess because of it, but we can fight back. We can choose to be rational.
100%. Being self-aware, getting those different views, thinking long game, that's how we navigate a world that's, let's face it, pretty crazy.
Love it. Green's like, here's the reins. You're not just along for the ride. So, to wrap up, think about a time you made a choice that, looking back, was totally irrational. What got you there? What feelings were in control? Could you have done it different, knowing what we know now? The more we get how our own irrationality works, the better we become at beating it. Until next time, stay curious, keep digging deeper into these big questions, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.